Hold up.
Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Yes, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious. Envy's not here quite yet. But it's time for front page news. The good sister Teslin Figaro is here. She's going to be here all week because Teslin Figaro is going to be on Abby Phillips' show this Thursday on CNN. I can't wait to witness that.
I know that's
Don't
right.
touch me. Stop. Get off me, man.
I love a little CNN. It's like, no, I'm lying, but I love Ted. Guys, what's up?
No, Abby Phillips is actually absolutely my favorite show on CNN.
That's good.
And I can't wait. And not only can I not wait to see who, I can't wait to see Ted's on there Thursday. I can't wait to see who she's on there with. Okay.
Right, you want me to crash out?
No, I don't.
It sounds like he wants you
No,
to cut
I
up
don't.
Ted
No,
for them
I
people.
don't. No, I don't.
Sound like you want me to crash
No,
out.
I don't. I just like when that level of honesty and truth is on the mainstream platforms because it rarely ever is.
What's up, Tiz?
What's going on, DJ Envy?
Now, what we getting into?
Let's start with some quick sports. And Monday Night Football, the Chargers beat the Raiders 29 and the Buccaneers beat the Texans 2019.
It was football on last night.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay.
What's up, Tez?
What's going on, DJ Envy? So, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about Vice President J.D. Vance hosted Charlie Kirk's podcast on Monday, and he said left-wing extremism is a part of the reason Kirk was killed last week. Take a listen.
There is no unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there is no unity with the people who fund these articles, who pay the salaries of these terrorist sympathizers, who argue that Charlie Kirk, a loving husband and father, deserved a shot to the neck.
Well, he also talked about how people on the left, that this is a majority, coming from people on the far left. Donald Trump also made some statements as well, as we saw over the weekend, guys, where he's just basically saying, hey, the left is pushing this violent rhetoric. But if we want to be fair about it, we've seen this happen on the left and the right over the last few years. And just to bring some additional context, this year alone, members of Congress have received over 14,000 threats compared to 9,000 of last year. I know you guys talked about that as well with Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who was up there this week or last week. But this problem has been getting worse, guys, over the years. Pulled a couple of, just a couple of stats on just reminding people that we had from the Democrat Party. Remember when Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, were killed?
Yep.
In June of this year, Senator John Hoffman was also shot. Remember Democrat Governor Josh Shapiro, his house, they burned his house down.
That's
so,
right.
and then of course Donald Trump, there was an attempted assassination on him as well. So we've seen
twice.
Both.
Remember the one when he got shot at once, and then they thwarted another one. I think it was on his golf course. Somebody was hiding in the bushes.
Then a recent one. There was a recent one they said the other day that somebody was like at like the last hole waiting for him. And
No, that's old. I mean, that's not old, but that's the one I'm talking about.
No, I think there was a new one. I thought maybe not. They said he smiled at the agent, and that's how the agent called him. I think this happened like last week.
Oh, wow.
I didn't hear that one.
And then, guys, another little story. I don't know if you saw that, but there was a bomb put under a Fox News truck. That also happened over the last couple of. Yeah, and so they arrested those guys as well. So they're saying that the media has a lot to do with this, tone down the rhetoric. So, it's just a continuing problem, guys, and it just can't be ignored. But I don't think it's fair to say it's one side over the other. What do you guys think about that?
I agree with you 100%, Tez. And I really don't understand what these people are doing. Like when I see J.D. Vance on Charlie Kirk's podcast talking like that, because everybody, especially the right, if you ask me, they've created an environment of violence that's not safe for any politician. We ain't even talk about the insurrection, okay? We ain't even talk about Charlottesville, okay? And both sides call each other fascists. So I think it's both. I think everybody need to tone down the rhetoric, but nobody gonna stop because it's almost like one of those things where like, okay, you stop, then we'll stop. You stop first, then we'll stop.
And he also said, he's encouraging people to call people's job. So I know we have some audio on that as well, but he was saying that if you see people celebrating, Charlie Kirk's death, to definitely call in people. And so there's a big difference, guys, between celebrating and people acknowledging, what was said before. So there's just, a lot of that going on. People have been losing jobs, getting canceled, all type of stuff behind Charlie Kirk.
I'm sorry, Tez. I seen a clip go viral of these workers at Staples. Somebody had came in and they wanted some banners printed. But it was supposedly they were in honor of him, but they wanted it to say something crazy about Democrats, and the lady refused to print it, and she got fired. They called right there on the spot, and she got fired right there.
Wow.
Yeah, when did Republicans become the party of cancel culture?
Yeah.
They used to call folks snowflakes for stuff like that. They used to be the party of freedom of speech, regardless of how far the freedom of speech would go.
Well, they definitely saying call people jobs and get them fired. And then just a reminder today, Tyler Robinson, who is the suspect who they said killed Charlie Kirk, he is expected to attend his virtual court appearance. So he's not going to physically be in court today because they said, it's just safer, I guess, to have him do virtual. So I will definitely bring you that update tomorrow. And at 7 o'clock, guys, just want to let you know we got a couple of things I want to talk about there. There's some sad news coming out of Delta State University, and also want to talk about Trump sending National Guard to Memphis 10. So we'll talk about that at 7.
All right. And everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back at some front page news. Now, in Monday Night Football, the Chargers beat the Raiders 29 and the Buccaneers beat the Texans 2019. What's up, Tez?
What's going on, DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. Good morning.
Hey, girl.
Peace, Ted.
Well, let's get into this sad news, guys. To report a 21-year-old student was found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. Let's take a listen to ABC WAPT for the report.
According to the Delta State Police Chief, they got a call around 7 o'clock Monday morning. First officers on the scene found the body of 21-year-old DeMartravion Trey Reed. He was hanging from a tree near the pickleball court that's in the central part of the campus. Reed is a Delta State student from Grenada. Now, there is already rampant social media speculation about what happened to Reed. At this point, investigators say there is no evidence of foul play.
Which I don't understand, on all these campuses, all these college campuses, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, they want to make it safe, so they put cameras anywhere. So they should be able to see exactly what happened immediately, right?
Well, it's only been 12 hours.
But they can pull up cameras immediately.
Yeah, but they got to give a while before they give out those type of reports. They still got to do an investigation. Like, it's interesting that we live in this world where people hear something and they immediately want answers. Like, you got to investigate this situation first.
Well, you can see if it was foul play immediately or if it wasn't foul play.
They said no foul play suspected.
That's crazy. He was hung from a tree.
They did say no foul play suspected. The coroner, Murray Roques, said that there's no evidence of broken arms or legs and that he believes it was self-inflicted. He said he did not go into additional details, but he said he has his reasons. But to your point, DJ Envy, a lot of his family said that online, they said the truth will come to light. So there is, still some questions about what happened, but they are reporting no foul play. And also to your point, Delta University is, just so people know, it is a small school. So it's about 2,700 students, 60% female, 40% male. Just want to give you guys some demographics on that. So in addition to the cameras, to your point, they should be able to get some additional information, from that school because it is small. And then one other point, it was yesterday was their 100-year celebration. They were supposed to be celebrating that, and unfortunately had this incident. So,
and you know what else? Something else. That Envy just said, well, it just made me think about this. And I don't know if you can, but they should have some of these investigations speed up a little bit more. And the reason I say that is because of the online speculation that happens when situations like this happen. Because I literally went from reading there was no foul play to seeing people say he was found with a broken leg and broken arm and then hung. Imagine, how that can start a whole bunch of mess.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you don't nip that in the bud immediately.
Immediately, that's right.
Especially, remember last week, even though this is not a HBCU, last week, remember the HBCUs were on lockdown because of the threats that they were saying that was going to happen to black folks. They said that with UCF that happened last week that they were going to kill every N-word in sight. So being that this happened recently, that certainly made people, have curiosity. Being that this was a, black young man that this happened to, and in Mississippi, which we know, has traditional, hangings from back in the day and all that stuff. So you're right. The quicker they can get this information, the better. Because again, like we talked about at 6 o'clock hour, the more you have this type of stuff out here, misinformation, the more people can get triggered and raged and, can cause other problems as well.
And it's sad because if it wasn't foul play, then we never get to talk about what we should be talking about, because there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying that they want it to be foul play, but people do want their feelings justified. So if they already feel like black people under attack, and they want to be like, nah, he got hung. But if he didn't get hung and he actually did kill himself, then we're not having conversations about that, which we should. We should be having conversations about mental health. This month in September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Like, there's a lot of conversations that we could be having, if it's actually not foul play.
Correct.
Yeah, so we got to see what happened then.
Yep.
Well, I want to also direct your attention to Trump deploys the National Guard to Memphis, continuing his military crime fighting push. Yesterday, Donald Trump signed an order to send the National Guard into Memphis to combat crime. Take a listen to what Shelby County Democrat Chair Willie Simon had to say.
I wanted to come out today to make sure that you had a statement about how we felt about having occupation in our city. And we say no troops on our students. No troops on our students. We shouldn't have to walk out the door feeling like we're in a militarized zone. That's right. This is not the Gaza Strip. This is not it. This is supposed to be America, where we're braining off the democracy, that people decide on what happens in their community. That's right. That our elected officials have voices in the community. That's right. And right now, what we see is an overreach, an overstep in our community.
Well, Mayor Paul Young, who took office in 2024, guys, he also is against this. I want to unpack this a little bit, though. Charlamagne, I talked about this on Fox News, a couple of weeks ago about the National Guard. Wanted to get your thoughts on it. Certainly when you have the National Guard come in, crime will be reduced over, a couple of 2 weeks period, 2 weeks or however long you're going to keep them there. But the question still remains, what is going to happen long term? What programs are going to be invested? How we're going to make sure, that this crime stays down. That is my major concern, and how it's actually, going to reduce the crime. And just, to give Mayor Young some credit. He has reduced the crime since he's taken office within the last year.
What has how has it reduced?
Okay, he's done a couple different things, Jess. He's convened a group of mayors, 20 mayors, to talk about violence intervention. He's also put an emphasis on community partners, nonprofits. He's appointed a public safety advisor. He's strengthened partnerships. He's really got down to the root of it, which is poverty, as we know, providing housing, jobs, youth intervention. So he has, reduced the crime up to 13%. But, folks are still going to say, well, it still need to be reduced more. Of course it does. But he's only been in office 1 year. And so I do think it is important to give Mayor Paul Young, some credit, for what he has done. And again, if the feds want to come in and you want to reduce the crime, then what type of investment are you going to make long term?
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Tez. I feel like the National Guard is a temporary solution. The long-term solutions are exactly what we're talking about, investing in the social services. You know what I mean? I think we should be getting these kids into trade school, mental health services, job training programs. They need access to, proper health care. They need access to housing, community violence intervention programs. Like, there's a whole bunch of things they could do if they really wanted to help solve the problem or reduce the crime, if they really wanted to. In a minute, they go, the same way y'all out here screaming free Palestine, y'all gonna be having to scream free Memphis. I ain't heard nobody scream free DC yet.
Damn.
Yeah. I heard nobody. Did you see Lil Duval's post?
What he say?
Duval had a show in DC this week. He said it's the safest I ever felt in DC. He said, I've been walking around by myself the whole day.
Yeah, but then you talk to some people in DC and they like, the National Guard ain't even in like the Southeast where like crime is going down. But they said that other federal law enforcement is in those areas though. Like they've ramped up like the FBI and the DEA in those other areas in DC. But it's not necessarily National Guard, but it's other law enforcement.
Got you.
And Trump also brought up that Chicago is next. So we shall see, what that's gonna look like. So
is Memphis is the number one is ranked the number one highest total crime rate, right? Am I making that up?
Yeah, they said they up there. So, again, nobody's disputing that it's not a crime, issue. It's definitely a crime issue. But again, how do we fix it? Of course, crime is down if you send the National Guard in with M16s, walking around for 2 or 3 weeks. Who's going to try it? But again, long-term solutions, what is actually, going to be done? Right. So
Chicago not even in the top 10.
For real?
No, it's like Portland is number 2. It's like
Portland?
Exactly.
Not Portland.
Yes, Portland, Oregon is number 2 when it comes to the highest total crime rate. Like Chicago, not even the top 10. Like but according to what I'm looking at, it's Memphis, Portland, Detroit, Seattle, Baltimore, Denver, Nashville, Philly, Houston, and San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
San Antonio, damn.
Portland okay. So Okay, so San Antonio, just so you guys know, there's a whole Air Force base in San Antonio. So literally,
wow.
military
Wow.
bases in San Antonio. That's a
Absolutely.
huge military population. So it just shows that when the military is around, it doesn't necessarily, reduce the crime. And I'm being facetious when I say that. Obviously the military is, on the base. That's where I went to basic training, by the way, in San Antonio. But the point is, if you want to reduce the crime, get down to the root of the problem,
That's right.
and not just expect the military to be able to fix that over a 2-week period.
That is crazy,
That's
San
right.
Antonio.
I know. I'm surprised to hear
military,
that.
because when
What's
I
your
do my
source,
shows,
Charlamagne? I need to double check that.
I am looking at the most dangerous
I don't see that.
Most dangerous cities 2025 rankings for the 30 largest cities, security.org. So San Antonio is on the highest total crime rate, and then they have a top 10 violent crime list. San Antonio is not on the violent crime, but total crime, San Antonio is number 10. But violent crime is Memphis, Detroit, Baltimore, Houston, Nashville, Denver, DC, Philly, Indianapolis, and Phoenix.
Jesus.
All right. Well, thank you, Tez. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Hold up. Every day I wake up. Wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?